Good morning, this is Mr. Morales again. Hopefully you're doing okay. We're starting a new unit. And now this unit is about factoring. It's about taking polynomials, whether it's a binomial, monomial, or even a trinomial, and finding the GCF. GCF stands for greatest common factor. So, this unit we're going to be finding the greatest common factor. We're going to look at some monomials, some binomials, and some trinomials. I want you to take your notes packet, and I want you to go to the first page, go to the back of the first page, and I want you to write these problems down. Okay? So I'll move out of the way so you may do so. We'll pause the video here, write them down. Okay? So let's look at number 1. So what you're doing is you're going to find the factors of 3 and f. So 3 is 1 times 3 times the f. And then we're going to look at the factors of 6, which I would say 2 times 3. Notice I put it here underneath, so that way I can circle what's the same factor in both. And in this case, the same factor in both is 3. So my GCF of 3f and 6 is 3. So let's look at number 2. You have 4. You could do 2 times 2. And then you have 3 x's. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm breaking it up into prime numbers. So let's look at 8. 8, you could say 2 times 2 times 2. And there's only 1 x. Now, one of the questions you can always ask yourself is, does the smaller number go into the bigger number? And 4 does go into 8. But so 4 is the greatest common factor, and I'm going to show you how. So notice you have a set of 2's here and a set of 2's here. You also have a set of x's. 2 times 2 times x. So your GCF here is 4x. So 4, again, the 4 here goes into the 8. Notice that the 4 was also the greatest common factor. So you're always lining up, circling what's in both. Okay? Let's look at example number 3. Take a minute and write it down. You have 8. Ask yourself, does 8 go into 12? No, it does not. And so you can say, well, what factors of 8 does go to 12? 2 goes into 8, goes into 12. 4 goes into 8, goes into 12. And I think that's the highest one. So I'm going to break this down as 2 times 4. And then you have 2 x's and 3 y's. Now let's look at 12. I said that 4 goes into 12. How many times? 3. So I'm going to do 3 times 4. Then I have 1x. Notice how I bring my y's lined up. Now I circle what's in both. So there's a 4. There's an x. Notice how I'm writing it down here because I'm going to multiply these. There's 1, 2, 3 y's. So 1, 2, 3. So now you multiply this here to find your GCF. So 4x and y to the third. That's your greatest common factor between these two monomials. Here's example 4. Now we have a trinomial, so write it down. So we're going to look at each term. Always look at the smallest one and see if it goes into any of the bigger ones. 8 does not go to 12. It does go to 16, but not 12. So then you find what are the factors of 8 that does go to 12 and 16. And I have 2 and 4. 2 goes into all of them, but I'm looking at the greatest common factor. So 4 does go into all 3. So let's start with 16. I have 4 times 4 times a times a. So that's this one here. Let's do 12. So you have 4 times 3, and then I have 3 a's. So that one's the middle one. And then I have 8a to the 4. So I have 4 times 2, and then 4a's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have to circle what's in all 3. Last time it was 2, now it's 3 of them. So I have a 4 in all 3. I have 1a in all 3, and another a in all 3. So I have 4 times a times a. Yes, there's a's here, but there's not one here. It's got to be in all 3. So my GCF is 4a squared. Alright, sorry about my handwriting. 4a squared. Okay? Alright, that is all for this video. I hope this helped you out, and you can do some problems on IXL.